Each morning, my day begins with a cup of freshly ground black coffee. The key for good coffee, other than having a brand that you enjoy, is making sure that you don't burn it. So once your water reaches its boiling point, allow it to breathe for a minute before you start pouring. By the way, I know that the latest biohacking trend nowadays is all about starting your day with electrolyte supplements and skipping your coffee in order to optimize cortisol levels and blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I consider all that complete and utter bullshit. That's how you start focusing on the tree and missing the forest when it comes to nutrition. So unless you are a hardcore distance runner, then spending your money on electrolyte powders is just plain stupid and a waste of money, really. You don't have to buy into all this just because your favorite podcaster wants to get his commission from the supplement company he's collaborating with. Just make sure your diet has already enough natural salt, and if it works for you, just keep enjoying your cup of manly black coffee. Unless you are one of those sacrilegious people that adds sugar to their coffee, then you might as well unsubscribe from this channel right now. By the way, if you're not in our Busy Dad newsletter, make sure you join right now. There's a link below. That way you can get our complete diet guide plus a bunch of other nutritional tools that will make your diet and life a lot easier, completely free. By subscribing, you'll be also getting the awesome advice we share with thousands of other Busy Dad subscribers on a weekly basis. So pause this video right now for half a minute, go get that done quickly, and come back to keep watching. Now, I always train early in the morning. I've even written a whole book about that. But in a nutshell, if you're a busy guy, getting it done early in the day before your adult responsibilities is the only guaranteed way to do it consistently. So my first calories of the day don't come until my first post-workout snack, which is a glass of iron milk. By the way, the only milk worth drinking. Iron is a traditional Turkish beverage made from yogurt, water, and salt. And although you want to avoid drinking your calories when you're trying to lose weight, this is one exception that I like to make, since I find it's a great way to hydrate after training. And although it also technically means that I'm breaking my intermittent fasting window earlier, it's still a good way for me to postpone eating, since I'm more thirsty than hungry after working out in the morning. It's got a bit of carbs, fats, and protein in there to help my body begin its recovery, at least until I get a more serious meal later on. There's enough salt in it to restore sodium and potassium balance. It's great for gut health and improving digestion and nutrient absorption. Plus, it tastes amazing. Well, maybe not for everyone new to it, but it is an acquired taste that will help you build some character and grow some hair on your chest until you get used to it. After that, I might have a second cup of coffee to keep my hunger at bay if I'm feeling a bit hungry. And I won't really eat anything else until dinner, since I prefer having a larger meal as I kick back after a long day. Overall, when it comes to ideal meal frequency, especially for busy men trying to lose weight, you want to choose anywhere between 2 to 3 meals and 1 to 2 snacks. So make sure you avoid extremes, such as eating a ton of small, frequent meals, thinking that will speed up your metabolism. That's a little bit of a bodybuilding myth there. Plus, eating that way is completely impractical and unsustainable especially if you're a busy dad. But also avoid the other end of the spectrum. So, avoid ridiculous extreme fasting approaches like OMAD. This will only cause your body to absorb less protein, while also eventually leading to eating disorders such as binge eating. All right, so it's about 3 hours since my previous post-workout snack. And this is when I had my first break from work and my first real meal of the day, which is, of course, only the best muscle building and Dadbod demolishing omelette in the world, which is, of course, my egg and cottage cheese omelette with some veggies thrown in the mix. Now, eggs are one of those few foods that I consider a real superfood, since not a lot of other foods really compare in nutrient density if you compare them size to size, calorie to calorie. They have one of the richest amino acid profiles out there. And if you're a healthy and active individual, you can really eat a lot of them without worrying about things such as cholesterol, Lastly, combining them with some low-fat cottage cheese will add a little bit of extra protein, so about 12 grams. Plus, it's going to make it the fluffiest and most satiating omelette you've ever had. Of course, not everybody can make this omelette. Crafting this amazing meal requires precision, timing, ninja-level flipping skills, and an advanced degree in egg whispering and culinary wizardry. I'm just kidding, of course. It's actually the most simple omelette recipe you can find out there. What I do is I prep all of my portions at the beginning of the week. I stick them in glass Tupperware in the fridge, and this way it only takes me 2 minutes to heat it up in the microwave and I'm set. Now, most busy dads do well throughout the day, at least once we get them organized with their snacks and first meals, but they tend to mess up their nutrition at dinner time a lot more. So if this is you, one of the best ways to navigate dinner is, first of all, having saved up most of your carb and fat portions for the end of the day. Also, if you're like me and your significant other preps this meal, specifically communicating your goals with her, being a bit creative with recipes, and explaining things such as not overdoing it with fats when cooking, prioritizing minimally processed and high protein meals as often as possible. All these things can make a big difference, and they can help you have dinners as a family that work for everyone's taste buds, but also for your Dadbod demolishing goals. Still, even after getting all that organized, even after communicating your goals with your significant other, overeating at this point of the day can remain a very challenging thing. This is the point of the day that you are most tired, most drained, and often stressed out. So another thing that helps is focusing on what we call the satiety trifecta. This means starting your meal with at least 2 glasses of water to make sure that you're hydrated and you're not mistaking thirst for hunger. Practicing eating slow by placing your utensils down between bites, and leaving the table or putting your plate at least in the sink once you feel 80% full, in order to learn to stop eating when you're feeling satisfied and not when you start to feel that burning sensation in your chest. Finally, having a high protein dessert is essential, for me at least, most nights, since after dinner I get a huge sweet tooth craving. My number one hack for this is strawberry whey protein mixed with Greek yogurt. This is also something I prep in bulk at the beginning of the week. It's super easy to make, takes like, 3 to 5 minutes. Just get a family size Greek yogurt, the real stuff, by the way, not the fake alternatives. Mix it up with 4 scoops of whey protein. I like strawberry, you can use any taste that works for you. Add a teaspoon of dark chocolate shaving once that's served. And if you've avoided sugar during the rest of the day, so you haven't excited your sweet taste buds, I promise you that it's gonna taste just as good as any dessert. Overall, eating this way helps me stay energized across the day while keeping my hunger at bay as I lose weight. Obviously, you don't have to eat the same exact things as I eat. You just have to find what works for you and make sure you cover your basic needs when it comes to things such as calories and protein intake. Luckily, we've created a free guide that makes that ridiculously easy for you. There's a link below. And most importantly, you want to keep things simple and practical. So meal prep is gonna go a long way here. Personally, other than dinner, I always start my week by investing half an hour to prepping all of my snacks and meals of the week. Otherwise, I know that after a certain point, I'll start making stupid choices, just because I don't have time or patience to opt for something that is more aligned with my goals. That's when my mind begins to convince me that ice cream, Snicker bars are a great post-workout snack. Lastly, avoiding too many options is also important, since too much variety just makes overeating easier. Plus, this way you also limit the endless food debates in your head, giving your mind less leverage to bargain for food choices that do not support your goals. Other than dinner, I've been eating more or less the same meals Monday till Friday, 5 years now. Since I know that if I need more variety during the day, I'm not really hungry and I'm just looking for a distraction. So although you don't want to be, maybe some of you at least, you don't want to be as boring as I am, I do recommend not having more than 2 different options per meal or snacks. I'm not talking about dinner, I'm talking about the rest of the stuff you eat during the day. And yeah, you can rotate those when you get bored with eating the same thing. That way you can set it basically and forget it for the rest of the year. It's literally one decision that can eliminate 1,000. So that was all for today. As usual, if you have any questions, make sure you leave them below. And until next time, keep on training.